Welcome to tonight's top news stories from around the world. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Let's get started with the headlines making waves right now. Poll shows Democrats catch up in election interest, but black and young voters lag. Trump criticized judge in January 6 case, calling her the most evil person. Orban and Fico support Trump's election victory, hope for Ukraine war end. New York playoffs pump 200 million into city's economy, Mayor Adams announces. Governor Hochul celebrates graduation of 215th State Police Academy class. Elon Musk offers $100 for voters supporting free speech and gun rights. Former US President Donald Trump invited to visit a salon on Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx. Bronx residents rally against lobbyist influence outside council member Amanda Farias' office. Canada warns Indian diplomats amid assassination allegations. North Korean soldiers arrive in Russia to assist in Ukraine war, South Korea reports. Nadal faces Alcaraz defeat in Saudi Arabia as a retirement approaches. And Virginia basketball coach Tony Bennett retires, citing changes in the game. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. A recent NBC News poll showed that Democrats have caught up to Republicans in enthusiasm for the upcoming election. This is a major shift as they were behind when President Joe Biden was in the race earlier this year. However, some key Democratic groups like black voters and young voters are less interested compared to previous elections. As of October 19, 74% of registered voters expressed high interest in the election. Among them, 77% were Democrats, while 79% were Republicans. This 2 point gap is smaller than the 5 point difference found in July when Biden was still running. The challenge for Democrats is that black voters and voters aged 18 to 34 are showing lower levels of high interest. Only 64% of black voters are highly interested, a drop from previous years. Similarly, just 49% of young voters are engaged, which is lower than in recent elections. Moving forward, the Democratic Party will need to focus on energizing these key groups to ensure a strong turnout for the upcoming election. Donald Trump called the judge overseeing his January 6 related criminal case, Tanya Chutkan, the most evil person during a podcast with Dan Bongino. Trump's comments came after Judge Chutkan released redacted documents filed by special counsel Jack Smith, who is leading the case against Trump. Trump also called Smith a sick puppy, a term he often uses for his opponents. The released documents largely contained information that was already public, but Trump expressed frustration, claiming this was election interference with less than 3 weeks before the election. Trump faces charges related to conspiracy and obstruction tied to the January 6 attack, to which he has pleaded not guilty. Judge Chutkan has increased security due to threats from Trump supporters, and in the past she has faced racist threats. Trump's criticism of the judge followed a Supreme Court ruling on the case earlier this year. Judge Chutkan made it clear that Trump's 2024 presidential run would not affect her handling of the case. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban and Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico expressed support for Donald Trump's 2024 presidential run. Orban stated on October 10 that he would celebrate with champagne if Trump won and predicted Trump would quickly end the Ukraine war, a claim Trump made himself. Orban, a close ally of Trump, visited him in July at Mar-a-Lago. Both leaders maintained a friendly relationship with Trump, often praising Orban at rallies. Similarly, Fico, who returned to power last fall, predicted Trump would end the Ukraine war and criticized NATO's military aid to Ukraine. Slovakia, under Fico, stopped military aid to Ukraine and proposed lifting EU sanctions on Russia. Orban and Fico's pro-Russian stance contrasts with US and NATO policies. US politicians raised concerns over Hungary's ties with Russia, while Slovakia also showed growing Russian influence. With the US presidential election approaching, both leaders hoped Trump's win would reshape international policies, especially on the Ukraine war and sanctions against Russia. Mayor Eric Adams announced that the 2024 playoff games of the Yankees, Mets, and Liberty have already brought nearly $200 million to New York City. The New York Liberty's WNBA postseason run alone could generate up to $18.3 million, boosted by ticket sales and spending from nearly 24,000 visitors. Both the Yankees and Mets are in their respective championship series. Each home playoff game is expected to bring between $20 million and $25 million in economic activity, benefiting local businesses and creating jobs across the city. NYC analysis found that each Yankees home game adds $25 million to the economy, while each Mets home game brings in $20.1 million. Mayor Adams expressed excitement, saying playoff rounds not only lift our spirits but also fill New Yorkers' pockets. NYC President Andrew Kimball added that these games bring visitors to the city and boost the local economy. Ticket sales were estimated at 33,000 for Yankees games, 27,000 for Mets games, and 3,400 for Liberty games, with additional income for seasonal employees at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. We'll be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Governor Kathy Hochul joined State Police Superintendent Stephen G. James in honoring 181 new state troopers as they graduated from the 250th session of the New York State Police Academy. The ceremony took place at the Empire State Plaza Convention Center in Albany. This graduation brought the state police force to 5,183 members. Governor Hochul praised the new troopers for their dedication to public service, acknowledging their commitment to keeping New York residents safe. Superintendent James highlighted the graduates' hard work during the 6 months of training, which included tough physical challenges and classroom instruction. Several graduates received special awards during the ceremony. Trooper Brian Leahy earned the Academic Achievement Award for his high academic performance. Tanner J. Rarick received the Firearms Proficiency Award, while Gavin F. Mannion was honored with the Physical Fitness Award for his exceptional physical abilities. The new troopers are set to begin field duty on October 23, 2024. For the first 10 weeks, they will be supervised by senior field training officers to ensure they are fully prepared for their duties across New York State. Billionaire Elon Musk recently increased his financial incentive for registered voters in swing states to sign a conservative petition. On Thursday, Musk announced via X that his pro-Trump super PAC would pay $100 to each signer and their referrer, doubling the previous offer of $47. The deadline to sign the petition is Monday night, coinciding with the closure of voter registration in Pennsylvania. In his post, Musk encouraged registered Pennsylvania voters to participate, stating, "If you are a registered Pennsylvania voter, you and whoever referred you will now get $100 for signing our petition in support of free speech and right to bear arms." The petition, launched in early October, supports the First and Second Amendments of the Constitution. Musk's program seems to comply with campaign finance laws, as payments are for signing the petition rather than for voter registration. The billionaire has shifted from a neutral stance to actively supporting former President Donald Trump, stating that the 2024 election will determine the fate of America. Musk has pledged $75 million to his super PAC and continues to promote voter engagement through town halls in Pennsylvania. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been invited to visit a salon on Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx, New York. As a resident of New York City, Trump is well acquainted with the business landscape across the city's 5 boroughs. Throughout his career, he has been a strong supporter of small businesses across America. The Bronx neighborhood, where the visit is set to take place, is primarily home to low-income residents and immigrants. About 60% of the area's population is of South Asian descent, while the rest includes communities from South America, Africa, the Arab world, and other diverse backgrounds. Local residents are preparing to welcome the former president with anticipation, hoping that his visit will bring positive attention to their businesses. The news was reported by Millennium News 24 CEO Tawfiq Noor and Sandhya Binte Sultana.
President Trump came over here. One of the presidents lifetime, no one came in the Bronx. Lower income people, middle class, not a middle class even, lower income people, migrant, immigrant people living in this neighborhood. All East Asian, South Asian, and Latino, all combined people living over here. And this is the neighborhood, one of the barber shops. He came to cutting his hair, and so many media, so many people is over here, and New York finest officer is over here. So stay with Millennium News 24.
A large group of community members and organizers gathered outside the office of City Council member Amanda Farias in Castle Hill, Bronx, to protest against lobbyists and special interest groups. The protesters voiced concerns about the destructive influence of lobbyists on local housing and community boards. They accused developers of engaging in unethical practices, including bribing council members to advance their own interests, which they believe is harmful to the city's environment, housing, and infrastructure. The demonstrators emphasized the need to end the chaos and crime impacting residents across the city. They urged that the unethical activities of lobbyists should not be allowed to continue as they are detrimental to the city's housing, roads, and environment. The protest reflects a growing demand for greater accountability and change. Community members are calling for strict measures to ensure controlled development that preserves the integrity of their local area. The news was reported by Millennium News 24 CEO Taufaddin Noor. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly recently issued a strong warning to Indian diplomats in the country, stating they are clearly on notice to avoid endangering Canadian lives. This follows allegations that India's top diplomat in Canada was linked to the assassination of a Sikh activist. On Monday, Canada expelled India's High Commissioner and 5 other diplomats. In a statement, Joly compared India's actions to those of Russia, emphasizing that Canada will not tolerate foreign diplomats putting Canadians at risk. She noted that such transnational repression has occurred in Europe, particularly by Russia. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police have accused Indian diplomats of targeting Sikh separatists in Canada. They allege that Indian officials shared information with organized crime groups that threatened these activists with violence, including murder. In response, India rejected the claims as absurd and expelled Canada's acting High Commissioner along with 5 other diplomats. This ongoing tension has escalated since the killing of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, raising concerns about India's involvement in foreign assassinations. 4 Indian nationals have been charged in connection with Nijjar's murder. South Korea's intelligence agency reported that North Korea dispatched troops to assist Russia in its war against Ukraine. The National Intelligence Service revealed that Russian Navy ships transferred 1,500 North Korean special forces to Vladivostok between October 8 and 13. These soldiers are currently undergoing training and are expected to be deployed to the front lines soon after completing their preparation. The NIS noted that the North Korean troops received Russian military uniforms and weapons, and they were issued fake ID cards to disguise themselves as Russian soldiers. Satellite images reportedly showed Russian Navy activities near a North Korean port and large gatherings of North Korean troops in Russian cities. Furthermore, South Korean media claimed that North Korea planned to send a total of 12,000 soldiers to Russia in 4 brigades. This development raised concerns in Ukraine, with President Vladimir Zelensky stating that it could lead to a potential world war. Ukrainian officials have called for a strong response from their allies against Russia's escalation. Meanwhile, Russia denied using North Korean troops in the conflict, labeling the reports as false. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Rafael Nadal lost to Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets on Thursday at the Six Kings Slam exhibition match in Saudi Arabia, ending 6-3, 6-3. The 38-year-old Nadal admitted he was not at the fitness level of the younger players on tour. He had announced his retirement plans last week, stating he would step away from tennis after the Davis Cup finals next month in Malaga. After the match, Nadal praised Alcaraz, calling him an animal, and acknowledged his struggle to compete at a high level. I know I'm going to play against players that are in much better shape, he said. Alcaraz, who has won the French Open and Wimbledon this year, expressed mixed feelings about the match, saying it was a little bit sad to face Nadal, a 22-time Grand Slam champion. Before this match, Nadal's last singles appearance was at the Olympic Games in Paris, where he lost to Novak Djokovic. He was set to face Djokovic again on Saturday in a match for third place at a Saudi exhibition. Nadal was uncertain about his form for the Davis Cup, saying he had a month to prepare. Virginia basketball coach Tony Bennett announced his retirement on Friday, stating he felt he could no longer effectively lead the Cavaliers in today's changing landscape of college athletics. The 55-year-old Bennett expressed gratitude during a heartfelt press conference, reflecting on his coaching philosophy and the pillars of humility and passion that guided him. Bennett humorously noted he wouldn't miss answering questions about his methodical style of play, but admitted the evolving demands of the sport, including NIL deals and transfer portals, had taken a toll on him. He shared that he had contemplated retirement earlier this year after the season ended, but ultimately made the decision after considering his ability to fully commit to the program. In his message to players and coaches, Bennett emphasized that to coach effectively, one must be all in, and he felt it would be unfair to the university and the athletes if he wasn't fully dedicated. He clarified that while he preferred traditional coaching methods, he supported student athletes receiving compensation for their talents. We'll be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 19,884.81. The NYSE Composite is increased by 29.55 points or 0.15%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,981.75. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 70.56 points or 0.18%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,261.56. The Shanghai index is increased by 92.18 points or 2.91%. Hong Kong stock close price is 20,804.11. The Hang Seng Index is increased by 725.01 points or 3.61%. Bombay stock close price is 81,224.75. The Sensex index is increased by 218.14 points or 0.27%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Poll shows Democrats catch up in election interest, but black and young voters lag. Trump criticized judge in January 6 case, calling her the most evil person. Orban and Fico support Trump's election victory, hope for Ukraine war end. New York playoffs pump $200 million into city's economy, Mayor Adams announces. Governor Hochul celebrates graduation of 215th State Police Academy class. Elon Musk offers $100 for voters supporting free speech and gun rights. Former US President Donald Trump invited to visit a salon on Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx. Bronx residents rally against lobbyist influence outside council member Amanda Farias' office. Canada warns Indian diplomats amid assassination allegations. North Korean soldiers arrive in Russia to assist in Ukraine war, South Korea reports. Nadal faces Alcaraz defeat in Saudi Arabia as a retirement approaches. And Virginia basketball coach Tony Bennett retires, citing changes in the game. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel, and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago video network, and Horizon satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.